A very special Dr. Lori. Value this with Dr. Lori, because today we're going to be talking about estates and how to make the most out of what has been left to you through death. Dr. Lori, today it's one of my very favorite topics and segments. It's when the viewers get to ask you these questions, and I'm sort of the medium for that.
Right.
Okay.
Q&A, here we go.
Q&A. All right, so here's one of the first ones, and so many people run into this problem. Unfortunately, someone dies, they leave them a house full of stuff. How do you get rid of that and get top dollar for those things?
Excellent question. Everybody has this question. Here's the first thing you have to do, and a lot of people want to skip this step. They want to go straight to market. You have to know what you're dealing with. That information gathering is extremely important. That means you need a walk-through appraisal. I call them in-home appraisals, where I would come into the home and say, this is worth this is worth that. You can sell this here, you can sell that there. This should stay in the family. It shouldn't be sold at all. It'll increase in value. It should go to the kids, whatever it might be. If you decide, oh, we're not doing that, we know, Uncle Louie, the guy from the 7-Eleven, whoever you think is that expert is going to allow you to lose your inheritance. Please do that step. It is always worth it. And make sure the person who is appraising that object for those objects for you in that house doesn't want to buy anything.
How do you know who that person is? You can't be everywhere.
I am everywhere, but people say you can't be everywhere. That person first, it's on an hourly rate. They should be charging you.
What is it? What's an average?
Okay, average hourly rate anywhere between $300 and $500 for an hour to walk through the house.
And does it take an hour or 2 hours to walk through?
Usually, depends on how big your house is. I can do a 4-bedroom house in about an hour.
Okay.
Okay, and I want everybody there. I want the kids, I want I want as many people as you love and who love you there if you are actually going to identify these objects. Because all those questions come up. Then everybody saw everything in front of everybody. Having more people who might come up with questions is a good thing for the family.
Inheritance is a rough time.
Rough time.
For a lot of families.
And don't do it just after Grandma passed away, for goodness sake. Try to do it when everybody feels good, because if you do this when it's emotional and you feel bad and you just lost Grandma, and we got to get the house moved, and you're trying to do too much, it's always a recipe for disaster.
Okay.
But if they want to buy it from you, that's not your guy.
All right, and the person who comes in and says, okay, 15 items, it's $25 each, that's not your guy either. The one who counts and gives you an amount based on you've got 10 items and they're each worth $25.
No, that's not your guy either.
Okay.
No, that's not your guy either.
All right. So where do you sell this stuff?
Okay, so then you want to go, where do you sell this stuff? Well, it's a different answer for I want to sell that table. You'd sell it in a different place. Then I want to sell that spinning wheel. Okay, now you have the internet and you have the ability to market to the whole world now. You don't only have to go local, but some things you want to sell locally because, Grandma's hutch is so big, you want someone local to come and get it. Okay, you don't want to be moving it. But smaller things that you can easily sell online, you want to sell online. So you want to know the market. You want to know what the retail value is, the top of the market, so you can then make a good decision when you were negotiating with that buyer.
Okay.
Okay.
But just identifying somebody else had that Staffordshire dog for, $500. That doesn't mean that person's going to get $500 any more than you are.
I spend 40% of my time fixing other appraisers' mistakes. When someone says, we had a Staffordshire dog and I found it online in Google because I Googled and I found out that it was worth this. And it's totally wrong. You got the wrong information, you didn't identify it correctly, and you don't have that object. Now what? This is why you need a real expert.
Okay, and then trying to find the buyer of that.
Trying to find the buyer is work, like anything else. People think it's magic because you have actually a computer in front of you. But it's easier when you know what you actually have, because if you misidentify it, you're trying to attract somebody, you could get into trouble with, I misrepresented this piece when I sold it to you. Then you got a different problem on your hands. So it's a good idea to have an in-home appraisal first. It's a good idea not to do it when everybody's emotional. Don't walk in there a week after Grandma just passed away to try to clean everything out. And these folks who are trying to help you, who have never helped you before, the neighbor who wouldn't take in the mail, all of a sudden wants to help you with the grandfather clock, is not the person for you. I have to talk like this because then people get it. People appreciate that I'm straightforward like this. I want you to learn it. I want you to know it. I don't want you to get nailed.
And you don't want an appraiser who buys.
No. Not in my opinion. No appraisers who buy. Because you're not an appraiser, then you're a buyer. You're not
Okay.
appraising. You're not going to tell them what the truth is. You're not going to say it's worth all this money. You say it's not worth much. I want to buy it for this much.
Right.
They want to get a deal too.
Okay.
It's a big conflict of interest, as you all can understand.
I totally get that, and this is such an important topic. We're going to
We'll talk more about it.
Yeah, we absolutely will. So we'll get to some other questions too. But this is a big one. Everybody ends up having to deal with stuff that is left to them. So
That's right.
we'll talk about that, Dr. And you can find a lot more information, drloriv.com. Go there. Questions, tutorials. You can't even believe it. All right.
Right here and there.
Yeah. Thanks for being here too, and we'll see you next time.